The ink on the multi-billion-dollar contract was barely dry when Rebecca Matthews walked through her mansion's front door, unaware she had just signed the most lucrative deal in pharmaceutical history. But her husband Daniel was in their bedroom, tangled in silk sheets with his mistress, planning the exact moment he would kick Rebecca and her 2 children out. The December blizzard howled outside their Connecticut estate as Daniel's cruel smile widened, his fingers interlaced with the woman who had poisoned his mind for months, both of them counting down the hours until Rebecca would be standing in the snow with her confused, shivering kids, while he moved his mistress into the master suite. The contract sat in Rebecca's briefcase, a document that would transfer billions into her name within 72 hours. But Daniel had no idea what he was about to destroy. No concept of the empire his wife had built in secret. No understanding that his betrayal would trigger a cascade of consequences so devastating it would leave him completely paralyzed. How could a man be so blind to his wife's transformation, from struggling researcher to pharmaceutical titan? What drives a woman to exact revenge so precisely calculated that her betrayer loses everything? His mobility, his wealth, his freedom, his very identity, and what darkness lurks in the heart of someone who kicks children into a snowstorm, unaware that those same children would witness their mother's metamorphosis into something he could never have imagined. Rebecca Matthews pressed her thumb against the biometric scanner, watching the screen flash green as her digital signature sealed the contract that would change everything. But she had no idea that in exactly 47 minutes her husband would shatter her world into pieces so small she'd spend the next 3 months gathering them from the snow. The fluorescent lights in the Manhattan conference room hummed above her as 6 attorneys in charcoal suits nodded their approval, their faces betraying nothing of the seismic shift this document represented for the pharmaceutical industry. "Congratulations, Dr. Matthews," the lead attorney said, sliding the leather portfolio across the mahogany table. "Viteen Solutions is now yours. The transfer of funds will complete within 72 hours. Rebecca's fingers trembled as she closed the portfolio, but not from excitement, from the bone-deep exhaustion of a woman who had spent 7 years developing a revolutionary gene therapy while raising 2 children and maintaining a marriage that had been dying in slow motion. The contract represented the acquisition of Viteen Solutions, a biotechnology company she'd built from nothing in a lab no bigger than her kitchen, working through nights when her husband Daniel slept soundly, when her children Lily and Marcus were tucked into their beds, when the world believed she was just another suburban mother with modest ambitions. The numbers swam before her eyes, 7 billion in an initial payment, but her mind couldn't fully grasp the magnitude, couldn't reconcile this moment with the woman she'd been 7 years ago, scraping together grant money, mixing compounds in borrowed laboratory space.